What's up guys, it's Matt Collins Jones here, also known as the D365 Geek, and today we are talking about Power Automate, we're talking about expressions and functions, and we're going to talk about the uriQuery function in the URI parsing functions collection. So, if you've been watching some of my last videos on different URI functions, this one specifically is around query. We covered one previously on URI pathing query, which allowed you to pull out the path of a URI and the query associated with it. So you can probably obviously tell what this is going to do. It's not going to include the path, it's just going to include the query that we're pulling out. So let's take a look at it today. So I'm in Power Automate here. I have a manual trigger flow here, and I have a compose action. So in my compose action, I'm going to click on inputs. I'll go across to expression, and I'll scroll down until we get to the URI parsing functions down here. We can click see more, and we have this function here called URI query, and the only parameter we're putting in is the URI string, and the description of it is returns the query from a URI. So if I click this into here, and this will go into the expression editor, I can then put in a URI with the query. So we'll do https / google.com. Then we'll do / search, can't type, search / history, and then we'll do .htm question mark, and then we'll put a query in of date equals yesterday. So as I come from the Dynamics world, I'm used to kind of seeing these inside URLs. So we could have sort of like, the Dynamics is like, CRM for .dynamics.com with all the rest of stuff, .main, ASPX I think it is, and then sometimes you have a question mark, and then you have the entity ID or the record ID or the model driven app ID in the URL. That's the query that the screen is showing you, but there's several other technologies that use that as well for things like filtering of views or filtering of lists. So by putting this in here, this function, which is not a real function by the way, this is just something I've made up, this should return things that you searched for yesterday, for instance. So if we click OK into here, that will go into here, and we can test this out. So click on test. I'll perform the trigger action, run the flow, click done, run successfully, and we can see that this is what it's pulled out. So it's pulled out everything after that .htm, it's pulled out the question mark and the date equaling yesterday. So that's the query that we're putting in. Now that's kind of important because like the fact that this URI parsing functions allows you to parse and take certain bits out of the URIs and use them means that you can actually use them in flows elsewhere. So you could, as I've said in previous videos, for things like the stream or the protocol or the ports, you could specify whether things are secure or not. But what this also allows you to do is this actually allows you to then inject this back into those queries. So for instance, in this case, this is a query that is on that URI. So we have date equals yesterday. We could potentially store that in a compose action or in a variable, and we could change that to be something else. And then maybe if we send in a message back to an API endpoint, we could specify that instead. So we could get something out, view the protocol, view the query, view the path, view the domain, and we could essentially take all these bits and put them back together, but change them in certain ways. So maybe I wanted to send it back and say, actually, I want all searches for today. I could pull this out. I could do some other functions around the different things in here, and I could change yesterday to today, and then I could put that back in and then send that back to an endpoint to then give me another query about the search results today. So this is really, really powerful. All these URI parsing functions, these allow you to do really specific things around URIs, but then that gives you great control over what you're going to do with them. So I can see a lot of potential in all of these functions, but as always, I want to know what you guys use these for. Do you use these at the moment, or do you plan to use these in the future? Or now that you've seen the potential that you've got here, does it give you an idea as to what you want to use this for in the future? let me know in the comments down below, or connect with me on social media if you haven't already. All the details are at the end of this video. If you did like this video, please like and please share it with your friends. Every share and every like is always appreciated. If you've not already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time.